So, and I think, Jamar, you are also involved in some of that kind of nonviolent protest training as well.
Yes, a bunch of stuff. We did a thing with the King Center, MLK nonviolence tradition. I've got some other stuff coming up planned on peacemaking as well. And so, yes, we need to. Yeah, the civil rights activists got training, y'all. They didn't just show up. And there was a philosophy behind it, an approach behind it. We have finally, yes, great job, y'all. Now we have 26 questions in the box. Robbie, Kristen, have you seen any that you want to respond to?
Well, first, let me just add one more point on the what to do. Show up at protests. If you have never shown up at a protest before, especially it will make a difference if you show up to this one. If you are afraid that something might happen to you, that you might get in trouble, end up, with a video of you going viral, that is not what we want. That will also do good, right? You see what that picture, what that witness of a Reverend Black has done, galvanizing many, right? And showing all of us where we are, right? That is why you show up in your body. And if you are not the type to normally do that, right, your presence is all the more powerful in your community, in your circles. And if somebody, if it gets you in trouble, right, that too will be a powerful testament to those who know you, right? You're not a rabble rouser. You're not, some of us are known for that. Um, right. Just don't underestimate the power that you have in this moment, particularly if you have not ever done anything like this. Like this is your time to shine. We need all of us. And yeah, it no guarantee that it's all going to go smoothly. But even if and when it doesn't, right, there is power in that too. All right, questions, lots of questions.
Jamar, why don't you take one? You've been graciously sitting in the host chair, but yeah,
I've
let's
been
let's hear from you, man.
the problem is, Robbie, I have so many thoughts bouncing around my head. I can't even land on one. But if we're coming back to the what do we do part, here's a real simple one. Reread the Gospels. Jamar, why do you say reread? I've been reading that all my life. Yeah, but now we're under a fascist regime, and it might hit different when we reread the Gospels. And in particular, I'm thinking about Matthew 5, of course, Beatitudes. But then blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. And then rejoice and be glad. Like all of that is abstract until you are living in persecution, until you are living in oppression. And there are a lot of folks, even folks who are tuning in to our convocation Substack and podcast, who haven't really experienced that on a widespread level. Yeah, you may have experienced individual opposition, but not sort of ideological or group because of who you are or what you stand for. And especially what is novel for many people is the federal government standing against you. And in this case, for a lot of us, because of our actual sincere Christian beliefs. And so, yeah, reread the Gospels because it is written to people who are imprisoned, to the poor, to the oppressed. This is how Jesus announces his ministry in Luke chapter 4. And what I'm saying is, this is the beauty of the scriptures, is that it's ancient text read countless times, but still has new treasures, new gifts, new strength for us. Does it click with us that Jesus said, rejoice and be glad when you're persecuted? How is that possible? And then somebody in the comments said they were surprised at how uplifting it was to go to a protest.
Mhm.
And I think this is a bit of what Jesus is talking about. When you partner with people who are also on that journey of justice, even as you're facing opposition, even as you're facing persecution, there is truly a joy in that. there's a deep peace that comes from that, knowing that the worst thing they can do is kill you. That's how Fannie Lou Hamer put it, right? So why should I be afraid? Seem like the worst they can do is kill me, and it seemed like they've been doing that a little bit at a time for as long as I can remember, is what she said, to paraphrase. But you get a sense of that experientially when you participate in pushing back against the darkness and pushing back against injustice. And this is why, Robbie, I'm not taking all these questions because I'll go on and on and on. What
Yeah.
else we got?
Yeah, I'll jump in. So I want to say one thing about that too. I think the word protest sometimes doesn't do us justice, right? Because you hear the word protest, you think, oh, this is like angry people with their fists in the air, right? But to remember, like, these are like, when I've been to events like this, there are people singing songs, there are people holding hands, there are people bringing their kids, like
I bring my kids. Yeah,
face
totally.
painting, right? I mean, it's balloons, and there's a solidarity there that I think is, and it's about joy, and you find your people and you're like, oh, I'm not alone. And all these other people, like, see what's happening, and I'm not crazy. And like all those kind of thoughts that I think bombard many of us, when you feel a little bit isolated. And I think that's the thing, is that this sense of solidarity, that there's more of us than them, like that there are more of us that care about democracy. There are more of us that want to embrace love over fear, love over hate, justice over persecution. Like there's more of us, I think, that want to do that. The problem is the kind of bystander thing. And I'm going to just pivot with that to Kathy's question here. Christian churches apologize after World War II for waiting too long. Are there churches who might apologize now in advance for the Christianity has been part of what we see? And, I may have mentioned this before, but, the only election postmortem piece I wrote for Time Magazine, and I just titled it, "What White Christians Have Wrought." And that was before he ever took office, and we had a single executive order, but I knew what was coming because he had told us what was coming, and people didn't quite believe that that's what was really coming, but it is. And here's the thing to remember: like we rightfully focus on white evangelicals who voted more than 8 in 10. But just the thing I want to keep reminding everybody is that all groups of white Christians voted for Trump.